Now you see the problem number 7. This is one problem I've taken from, I don't know the name of that book. Mr. Kamlesh submit the following particulars of his income for the previous year 2019-20. Business income computed. The business income computed is the third head of income. Third head of income is 35,000 is given. It is calculated and there is no necessity of calculation of once again the lump sum amount or calculated amount is given for you people. You remember this. This is the income from third head. Income from business or profession. Okay. Then come to the point B. He is the owner of 2 residential house. He sold one of them costing rupees 1,17,000. He is having 2 residential house. Out of them, he sold one. He sold one residential house. Which is cost 1,17,000 in the year 2005-06. He sold it for 3,33,000 on 16/8/2019 and paid brokerage 2,000. Okay, what is the first point you would like to take from this? Tell me. First point. Regarding residential house, if you start to calculate, which point comes first?
Full value of consideration.
Full value of consideration 3,33,000. Then second point.
Expenses in connection to sales.
2,000. Then third point.
Less indexed cost of acquisition.
Index cost of acquisition. Cost is 1,17,000. You multiply by 289, divide by index of 2005 and 6. Okay. This point clear. Come to the third point C. He had shares. Shares of face value of rupees 2,50,000. 2,50,000 face value shares he is having of a limited company, and which were purchased by him for rupees 2,40,000 in May 2014. Then tell me what is the cost. Face value of share is 2,50,000, which were purchased by him for rupees 2,40,000. What is the cost of the share to him? What is the cost of shares to the assessee?
40,000.
2,50,000 or 2,40,000?
2,40,000.
2,40,000 is the cost because he purchased for 2,40,000. Okay. Then sold them for 2,90,000. Full value of consideration is 2,90,000. Cost is 2,40,000. Sale value is 2,90,000. And he paid brokerage at 1%. Brokerage at 1% on face value of share. Okay. Brokerage on sale is nothing but selling expense. What is the amount of selling expense? You tell me.
2,500.
2,400 or 500?
500.
2,500. Okay. In this point, you take full value of consideration. Then you take the selling expense. Thereafter, you take the index cost of acquisition. 3 points you take in the third point. Okay. Come to the fourth point. On 30th 11/2019, he sold his personal car rupees for 90,000, which was purchased 4 years back for rupees 60,000. What is the cost of acquisition and what is the full value of consideration in this point? Yes. Anybody tell me?
So please repeat the question.
Is it transparent or not? The question in your mobile. I
Yes,
shared
sir.
the screen. Huh? Is it transparent on your mobile or not?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
visible? Is it visible on your mobile or not?
Yes, sir.
Then the car, the personal car, he sold personal car for rupees 90,000 and which was purchased 4 years back for rupees 60,000. What is the cost of acquisition and what is the full value of consideration in this point?
Cost of acquisition is 60,000.
Uh,
Full value of consideration is 90,000.
90,000. My dear friends, you see the question, the car is personal car. Car
It
is
can be
personal
considered
car.
as capital asset.
Huh? The
It
car
is a
is,
personal effect.
Exempted.
this is exempted. Remember this
Exempted.
point. This is exempted from tax because personal car is there. Personal effects are exempted from tax. For example, furniture, motor car, motorcycle. Okay. Not your ornaments and decorated items. Clear? This is exempted from tax. Okay. Point D is exempted from tax. Come to the next. He sold listed debentures of a company. He sold listed debentures of a company on 1/8/2009 for rupees 6,83,000. What is the sale value? 6,83,000, which were purchased by him for rupees 1,52,500 on 1/2/2019. 1/2/2019. You see here, what is the sale value and what is the cost of acquisition?
6,83,000.
6,83,000 is full value of consideration. Then what is the cost of acquisition?
1,52,500.
Then you tell me whether this is a short-term asset or long-term asset. Is it a short-term capital asset or long-term capital asset?
Shorter.
This is a short-term capital asset because this asset is held from 1st February to 1st August. 1st February to 1st August, how many months? Okay, how many months? That asset held for how many months?
6 months.
6 months. Okay, the asset is held for less than 12 months. Therefore, it is a short term. And remember, you people, you have to show long-term capital gain separately and short-term capital gain separately. Don't mix the long-term and short-term. Don't mix the long-term capital gain and short-term capital gain. Always you first calculate long-term capital gain. After calculating the long-term capital gain, you calculate the short-term capital gains. Remember this. Okay. And for this, index is not applicable because it is debenture. Therefore, it is index is not applicable. And one more thing, for short-term capital asset, no index is applicable. Remember these 2 points. For short-term capital asset, no index is applicable. So in this point, you take the full value of consideration and deduct the cost. Okay, come to the next one. He sold ancestral ornament. He sold ancestral ornament on 1/7/2019 for 9,07,500. 9,07,500 is called as full value of consideration, which had cost his grandfather. Which had cost his grandfather rupees 50,000 in the year 1965. His grandfather purchased them for rupees 50,000 in 1965, and fair market value of that is on 1/4/2001 was 2,50,000. Then what is the cost of acquisition?
2,50,000.
2,50,000.
2,50,000 is the cost of acquisition. And is it long term or short term?
Long term.
For this type of asset, you have to consider the date of acquisition, 1965 to 2019. Remember this. Okay. Problem is over. By the application of index, you have to calculate short term and long term. First, I'll calculate the long term capital gain. Then I'll calculate the short term capital gain. Thereafter, I'll calculate gross total income. Okay, they asked to calculate gross total income in this problem. You see this. You write the heading properly. Because of space problem, I have not shown the heading of the problem. You write the heading: computation of gross total income of the Mr. So and so for the assessment year 2020-21. Like this, you write the heading. Particular amount, you make 3 amount column. First point is related to business income, you leave that. Second point, B point. You take the B point, full value of consideration means sale value. 3,33,000 is the sale value, less selling expense 2,000. You deduct selling expense 2,000. 3,31,000 is called as net consideration. You write this as net consideration. In the net consideration, you deduct the index cost of acquisition. Cost is 1,17,000 multiplied by 289 divided by 117 is the index of that year. Okay. And its cost is 2,89,000. You deduct 2,89,000. Its capital gain is 42,000. Capital gain, long-term capital gain on residential house. Long-term capital gain on residential house is 42,000. Then come to the next, full value of consideration. C point, sale value. 2,90,000 is the sale value. Less selling expense 2,500. Brokerage on sale. Okay, 2,500. You calculate and write it this amount. 2,500. That is, you write 2,50,000 into 1/100. In the particular column, you calculate 2,50,000 into 1/100. Otherwise, you will forget it. I have not mentioned here. Brokerage. Selling expense means brokerage. 2,500. Brokerage you deduct. Balance is 2,87,500. This is net consideration. In the net consideration, you deduct the index cost of acquisition. 2,40,000 is the cost into 289 divided by index of that particular year, acquisition year. So answer is 2,89,000. If you deduct 2,89,000, net consideration is less. Net consideration is less. Then index cost of acquisition is more. Therefore, here is the capital loss. There is no gain. There is a long-term capital loss. 1,500 is the minus. 1,500 is the minus. This is called as long-term capital loss on sales. So long-term capital loss on sales of a listed company is 1,500. Okay. This 1,500 loss you can adjust in the other long-term capital gains. It is permitted. Remember this. So I put minus value here. Then next is F point. F is relating to ornament. So if you take the full value of consideration, ornament sale value is 9,07,500. Less index cost of acquisition, cost is 2,50,000 into 289 divided by 100. So 7,22,500 is the cost. You deduct it, 85,000, sorry, 1,85,000 is the gain, long-term capital gain on ornament. Long-term capital gain on ornament is 1,85,000. And these three are long-term assets. These three are relating to long-term capital asset. So on B point, there is 42,000 long-term gain. On C point, there is a capital loss of 1,500. And F point, 1,85,000 is the gain. So ultimate gain or ultimate long-term capital gain. Ultimate long-term capital gain is 2,25,500. Remember this. In this way, you calculate long-term capital gain only. Long-term capital gain. Okay, long-term capital gain is 2,25,500. Remember this point, you adjust long-term capital loss in the long-term capital gain. Okay, and I'll go to next slide. In the next slide, I'll take long-term capital gain is 2,25,000. Next, I'll take the short-term capital gain, that is debenture. Debenture sale is 6,83,000. Less cost of acquisition, 1,52,500. 1,52,500 is the cost. So this asset is held for only 6 months. This asset is held for only 6 months, and the gain on this is called as short-term capital gain. Okay, short-term capital gain. So short-term capital gain on debenture. Short-term capital gain on debenture is 5,30,500. Okay, this is the only one asset. If there are more than one, you calculate separately. Long-term capital gain is 2,25,500. Short-term capital gain is 5,30,500. One more thing you remember. If there is a short-term capital loss, you adjust in the short-term capital gain only. Remember this point. Short-term capital gain, and if the short-term capital gain is not there, then you adjust it in the long-term. I'll take one example on that. Okay, short-term capital gain is 5,30,000. Long-term capital gain 2,25,500. Short-term capital gain 5,30,500. Therefore, total capital gain is 7,56,000. So income from capital gain is 7,56,000. 7,56,000. You see here, E point is here. I have not taken serially. First, I have taken the long-term capital assets. Then I have taken the short-term capital asset. Okay. This is the income from capital gain. Capital gain is the fourth head of income. Then third head of income is income from business. Income from business is 35,000. You take the total is 7,91,000. 7,91,000 is called as gross total income. Gross total income. This is the point you remember. In this way you calculate. Okay. In this way you have to calculate. So whenever the short-term assets and long-term assets are there, first you calculate capital gain on long-term asset, then you calculate capital gain on short-term asset. Short-term capital gain plus long-term capital gain is equal to income from capital gain. This is the point you remember. Okay. You see the next problem. Mr. Vikrant purchased a Mr. Vikrant purchased a residential house on 1/4/2008 for rupees 2,74,000. For 2,74,000 he purchased and sold the same for rupees 10,83,000. 10,83,000. What is the cost of acquisition and what is the full value of consideration? What is the cost of acquisition and what is the cost of full value of consideration?
$10,83,000 full value.
Next,
2,74,000 cost of acquisition.
cost of acquisition. Okay, 2 points clear. Then he constructed new residential house. He constructed new residential house at a cost of rupees 3,25,000. At a cost of 3,25,000, he constructed new residential house and also deposited 80,000 in a specified bank under notified scheme before the end of previous year. What these two amounts?
Exemption.
These 2 points are related with exemption. What is the total exemption?
4,05,000.
4,05,000 maximum if there is a capital gain. Otherwise, equal to capital gain. Okay. Any doubt? Then what is the section applicable for this?
54.
54. Clear? Come to the second paragraph. He also purchased agriculture land on 1/4/2001 for rupees 3 lakh. This 3 lakh is the cost of acquisition. He sold the land for rupees 13,86,900. Okay. 3 lakh is the cost of acquisition. Sale value is 13,86,900. Is it full value of consideration?
Yes.
Full value of consideration. Okay. And incurred 1,000 as selling expense. This is a expenses related with sale. Clear? Meanwhile, he had spent 12,900 in the year 2007 and 8 on the improvement of the above land. What is the cost of improvement? What is the cost of improvement?
12,900.
12,000.
12,900. Then he purchased new agriculture land for rupees 2,50,000. He purchased new agriculture land for rupees 2,50,000. What it is?
Exemption.
This is deduction. Okay. What is the section? Which section applicable for this?
54B.
54.
54B.
Okay, in this point, you take the full value of consideration first. Second point, selling expense. Third point, cost of acquisition. Fourth point, cost of improvement. Fifth point, exemption under section 54B. 5 points you take from this paragraph. Okay. And you have to apply index based on that. 3 lakh is the cost. Index applicable is 2001 and 2. Improvement is in the year 2007-8. 2007 and 8 index is 129. Okay, you apply this index. Clear? And next is index cost is there. Problem is complete. Residential house sold, residential house acquired. Agriculture land sold, agriculture land acquired. These are the 2 points. Only 2 capital gains you calculate in this point. Okay. You see the next problem. In the next problem, Mr. Devraj sold the following asset during the previous year, 1920. Compute long-term capital gain. Sorry, long capital gain. They have to calculate capital gain. You see here, furniture purchased on 1/1/2010 for rupees 5,000. Sold on 15/1/2000 for 6,000. Purchased for 5,000, sold for 6,000. The written down value of the furniture was 1,500 on 1/4/2019. 1/4/2019. And this was the only asset in that block. This is the new point today we entered. I explained the theory relating to this point. Then you tell me what is the full value of consideration in this point and what is the cost of acquisition. Is this problem visible on your screen or not? Okay, tell me, what is the full value of consideration and what is the cost of acquisition and what is the gain? Or
6,000 consideration.
full value of consideration 6,000. Then what is the cost in this point?
5,000.
5,000 is the cost. Okay, I agree with your statement. And remember you have not attended my theory class. While explaining the theory, I told that if the written down value is given, you don't take cost of acquisition, you take written down value as cost. Remember this point. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳ್ರಿ. written down value ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಂದ್ರ cost ಹಿಡಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. If the written down value is given in the problem, you consider written down value as the cost. And that asset you consider as short-term capital asset. These two are the important point. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. written down value ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಂದ್ರ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಡ್ರಿ, written down value ತಗೋರಿ. ಎರಡನೇದ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಗೇನ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಗೇನ್ ನೌ? What is the short-term capital gain on the first point?
4,500.
4,500. Okay. You take 6,000 less written down value. 1,500. Clear? Short-term capital gain. That is short-term capital gain. Come to the next point. What is the second point? You come to the second point. In the second point, land situated in Bagalkot, purchased in the year 2005. December 2005 means 2005-6. Rupees 58,500. Sold for rupees 2,86,000. Simple point. What is the cost of acquisition and what is the sale value?
58,500. Cost of
Then sale is
2,86,500.
Is it short term or long term?
Long term.
Long term. Clear? And next, machinery. You see the next C point. Machinery purchased in the year 2008 for 2 lakh. Purchased for 2 lakh. Sold in the March 2020 for rupees 1 lakh.